everywhere, everywhere she goes.
Hello everyone, welcome to this week's Very Ann show, and thank you for tuning in every week, assuming that you are. It's lovely to have this show, it's great to have an audience, it's especially fabulous to have Emily Watson, my offsider. Emily, you look wonderful.
Thank you.
That colour really looks good on you.
Oh, thank you.
Because you're slender, you can wear what you want, can't you? I have to live in black.
I do have to wear saccharinary undies so to hide the hips.
You haven't got any hips?
I do, they're just hidden.
Hidden well. See, I've got two sets of hips, I've got no waist, so it all goes down. And okay, but this week I've got a lady on the show who is a photographer, and I met this lady on the comedy circuit last year sometime, and I really hit it off with her. She's really lovely, she's classy, she's intelligent, she's talented. Would you please make welcome Shannon Murphy?
Oh, thank you, you are too kind. That was a lovely intro.
So I haven't seen you for a few months, have I?
No, we've been crossing different ways.
No, you have been crossing lots of seas, haven't you? Because I've done my homework on you, and you have done a bucket list before 30.
I have. It's my 30 before 30.
Right.
Not quite at the 30 yet, but I gave myself time to get everything done that I wanted to do. So
tell me about, I'm assuming number one was the overseas travel.
The overseas trip was number one. It was definitely the biggest thing that I wanted to do, and probably the most expensive thing. So I wanted to tick that off the list straight away. And so I went and did that.
Where did you go?
And well, I started out in England and Ireland. So I spent about 10 days there visiting friends, seeing the sights, seeing family, doing all, you know, the important things that if you don't, it gets back to your mother and you never hear the end of it.
Okay, is that the name Murphy? Is that an Irish link?
Irish name, yes.
Whereabouts?
Shannon Mary Murphy.
Whereabouts in Ireland?
We're actually from the south of Ireland itself.
Where?
Off the top of my head, I can't remember. Yeah. It's great. Good family history memory there.
Is it near Dublin? Is it?
It's sort of on the sort of down the coast, because we're also Spanish to start with, which is where my colouring comes from.
Irish.
Yeah, Black Irish.
Yeah, we're
exactly.
Black Irish.
Exactly. Yeah. So Spanish
Thank
Armada.
God.
I know.
Who wants to be that other lot, like my brothers, with their pale skin and their ginger hair?
Yeah.
I've got Ranger cousins, the
Oh, the poor bastards.
Okay, so how long were you in Ireland?
I was actually only got to do a night in Ireland. It was very frustrating, and of course Dublin brought the best Irish weather that it could.
So it pissed down?
It pissed down rain, it was windy, it was horrible, it was cold.
Sure, but Mary, Mother of God,
I know.
they made you welcome, didn't they?
Not the best
They all
time
pissed
coming.
out their heads?
No, they were actually all wonderful.
Really?
Although, yeah, I don't know how they do it. They're out walking around in T-shirts in the coldest temperature I have ever been in my life. My teeth were chattering at 9 o'clock at night, and I was just, how do they do this? This is painful. But it was lovely. From what I did see, it's an amazing place, and I'll definitely go back there. Hopefully the weather will be better next time.
I dare you,
Fingers crossed.
having been to Ireland many times. That's why it's so green and lush. And
It
nice.
is, so much rain.
And they're so friendly, aren't they? The mix really
Amazing.
are. We are the friendliest people, I'm sorry. Aside from, of course, the English, who are a little bit dodgy, aren't they?
Oh,
they're cold. Did you go to London?
I did go to London. And I actually got really good weather.
Yeah.
I was really surprised.
Apparently they're in the middle of a heat wave at the moment.
They did before I got there.
Yeah.
They were. It was that fleeting time once a
like
year
week.
where you think, we're like other countries, we're normal, and then it's all over. And you see all the girls in the parks flashing their bits, trying to get a tan.
I couldn't buy gloves anywhere in London because they were out of season.
Yeah, that's right.
And I was like, oh, my hands are freezing.
And so, how long were you in England?
I was in England. I did a total of 10 days in between England and Ireland, and then I jumped on a top deck tour on a bus with 35 other Aussies, Kiwis, an American, some Canadians, a South Korean girl, and off we went tripping around the continent. It was amazing.
And what was your favourite country?
France, most definitely.
You're a photographer.
Yes.
So by day you're a property valuer, but your actual main, and this is what I remember from the comedy, you are the comedy circuit photographer, aren't you? You do a phenomenal job.
Not officially, but
unofficially, but we all know you.
Yeah.
And you did actually, we do have you did send me a few photos. There's one I'd like to see, which I absolutely adored. One of your stills. Look at that. That's Greece. Is that a Greek island?
That is Santorini.
Oh, that is stunning.
Look at that. That is fun. You've certainly got an eye.
Thank you very much. That was also one of my 30 before 30 to photograph the cliffs of Santorini. That's actually in a town called Oia, which is where most of the photos in Santorini are actually taken. So you've got the blue-roofed churches, the white buildings, the stone paths. It's amazing.
Gorgeous.
It's
did you meet any nice
fabulous.
Greek men?
I did, but they were all waiters and a little bit too old for me. But they did like their token Aussie, which was very nice.
Waiters? No. Owners?
Yes. a little bit too old for me, but they were all absolutely amazing, and they're so welcoming. I mean, their economy's in the...
It's not good at the moment.
No, it's not good at the moment.
Look, so tell me more about the photography. How did you get started?
When I was younger, I used to frustrate the hell out of my mother because she'd go off to get film developed and there'd be me out taking different photos of, she'd end up with pictures of the sky and just fiddling basically. Yeah. And probably about 12 months ago, getting involved with the comedy and taking photos of the comedians and especially the open mic guys because they're so appreciative of having photos of themselves on stage, it made me want to sort of develop that into something else. And I've got the sort of the landscape and the animals on the side as well, which keeps me busy and interested, but definitely.
And I've heard that your last project, you were employed to do a commercial photography on trucks? I
did. I had my first paid gig, which was another on my 30 before 30 list, so I've crossed off a little bit in the last few months. I actually took photos of A-doubles, which are road trains. They're longer and heavier than what is allowed to come down the Toowoomba range.
Okay.
So I took photos for a trucking magazine because that's a pretty big thing for them.
You always see,
it's so unglamorous.
Back, through the desert roads.
It's just not glamorous.
It's not glamorous, no, but it was definitely.
It.
I learnt a lot taking photos of trucks and moving vehicles, especially when you've got other cars in and the weather and everything like that. It was definitely taught me a lot as well.
So it was just trucks, there weren't people?
No, just trucks.
Okay. Okay, look, we're just going to wrap this up. Please stay because I want you to stay. We're not finished the interview. We are just going to a break. You know the drill. Go for a wee, go get a cup of tea and come back in a few minutes.